Penalty, Miami. Penalty, Miami. Penalty, Miami. Penalty on Miami. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Penalty. Before we get into the video, I just want to remind you guys that I have some new Miami themed shirts on the merch store, and you can check them out by clicking the top link down in my description. I really think that this is some of the most unique Canes game day gear on the market. You're gonna love them. What's going on, Canes fans? I'm gonna keep it real with you. After a month of not winning a game, it definitely feels good to be back in the win column. Now, I won't lie. I was holding my breath there towards the end of that game, and I cannot believe that we almost let the Hokies back in it. They're not a good football team, but can I sit here and say that we are? Right now, not really. But I do want to take just a moment and talk about some of the big positives and negatives that I took away from this game. Just keep in mind that this is a quick initial reaction, so this is immediately after the game. I haven't given it time to, digest. I just turned on the camera and we're talking about it. And I do think that we should start with the negatives because there is one big one that I think we can all agree on. And my intro kind of hinted towards it, and that is too many penalties. Way too many penalties. The number of penalties that we had in each game, starting with week 1, go as follows: 6, 7, 7, 4, 3, and then today, 17. 17 penalties for 159 yards. At one point in the game, we almost had more penalty yardage than Virginia Tech had of total offense. Just keeping it real and blunt here, if this were actually a good football team that we had played today, there's a chance that that amount of penalty yardage actually impacted the outcome of the game. I'm not even playing. I'm not sure if we were just mentally distracted a little bit this afternoon. I mean, it was a 12:30 game. It was homecoming, sellout crowd at Lane Stadium, or maybe it was just some of our frustrations coming out. I mean, we had lost 3 in a row coming into this game. There were some times, especially late in the game, when things weren't going our way. So maybe it was just kind of getting to us a bit. Who knows? And we still can't run the ball. We are completely one-dimensional right now, and that scares me. I thought a couple of weeks ago, or let's say early on in the season, right, when we were rushing for like 175, 200, I was like, man, I really wish that we could throw the ball more. And, looking back, I would have been excited. I would have been happy whenever I see some of these passing yards. However, I'm not so happy that we're having to completely abandon our run game. It's practically non-existent. When we desperately needed to burn the clock in this game, when we, I'm a foot on the gas type of guy. I want to run it up. Instead of protecting the lead, I want to extend it. But we were in a position to where, we weren't firing on all cylinders there in the fourth quarter, and it would have been in our best interest to put together like a 5 to 7 minute drive, really drain that clock, and you can do that successfully by running the ball. However, when we needed it most, we had to completely abandon it. It wasn't even an option. And it's a little scary to me because last week Pitt racked up 326 rushing yards on that Hokie defense, and the most that we could muster was 107. Now, at least we did end up in triple digits, but it wasn't pretty, and it was absolutely a struggle. And I fully realize that this might be comparing apples to oranges, and I'm possibly reaching a tad here, but Old Dominion beat Virginia Tech 20-17. Today, we beat them 20-14. Those scores are eerily similar, so does that mean I'm not going to go there. I'm not even going to say it. I don't want to be the one. And I kind of want to mention some game management and clock issues, but again, I kind of feel like some of that goes back to the run game. There were some times there late where we were snapping the ball with still, like 10 seconds left on the play clock. And I really feel like again, I'm not a protect the lead kind of guy, but that's just the situation that we found ourselves in late in this ball game. So I don't know, some questionable timeouts and some play clock management, just some overall game management. Some of that stuff just needs to be cleaned up. And the last negative that I'll mention in this one is injuries. I mean, is there anything to this, or is it just bad luck? Because some Canes fans are pointing the finger at Aaron Feld. They say, hey, he's not working the players hard enough. He didn't hit these guys hard enough with that strength and conditioning program in the offseason. Then you have another set of Canes fans that are saying maybe he's working them too hard. Maybe it's too much and our guys aren't used to it, and it's just putting extra stress on their bodies. Which one is it? I don't know. I'm not there in the weight room. I'm not there at every practice, so I don't have an answer, and I have no idea. Let's go ahead and jump over and take a quick look at some of the positive takeaways from this game. And what I want to see from you guys is shouting out Colby Young. Yes, wide receiver Colby Young down in the comment section below. That dude is absolutely the baller that we had hoped and dreamed he would be. And really, honestly, the type of playmaker that we expected him to be. We've been calling his name. We've been wanting to see him, a big body wide receiver. Somebody that can go up there, 50-50 ball, make a play. And he showed today again why he deserves as much playing time as possible. Now, I don't know what all happened with not playing him sooner. Again, we've already had this discussion, but he's playing now. He made a statement in the North Carolina game in his limited snaps, and he came out today and earned way more snaps, and he showed that he is, in fact, that dude. So let's show him some love down in the comment section. Now, I want to see this coaching staff basically leave him out there on the field unless he's asking for a breather to come to the sideline, because we need him out there. And you can tell that TVD is comfortable with him. He looked lost a little bit whenever Xavier Restrepo went down, and you can tell that he's confident throwing the ball to Young. And I'll tell you something that put a big smile on my face in this one, and it's that in my keys to a victory in the Virginia Tech preview video, I said that we must score a touchdown in the first quarter. And finally, thankfully, we were able to do that. We hadn't done that since week 1 against Bethune-Cookman. And I'm just being honest with you. When you look at the final score of this thing and how things kind of went down at the end, a slow start in this game could have absolutely cost us the game. And I'm willing to acknowledge that Gaddis has made some tweaks to this offense, and it has helped Tyler Van Dyke look and feel much more comfortable. Just look at his body language, the way that he looked in the first 4 games of the season compared to now. He's definitely much more confident and comfortable, and there's still so many glaring issues with the offense overall. There's still a ton of problems, but overall, all I ask is that we continue to make adjustments and we get creative, and at times we take some chances. We're willing to make those changes and see what happens. And speaking of, that takes me to the next positive, and that's that we actually got creative this afternoon. We brought in Ja'Curry Brown. Yes, the quarterback Ja'Curry Brown. He picked up 3 yards on a 3rd and 2 and 19 yards on a 3rd and 1. So I need to see more of that. Virginia Tech definitely didn't see that one coming. I can promise you that. And lastly, hey, let's keep it real here for just a moment. I know the fan police are going to be out in full force. Coop, whoop-de-freaking-do. We're now 3-3, a 50% team. We're 1-1. But I can tell you that 3-3 feels a whole lot better than 2-4. Again, 3-3 is not good. I'm not saying that all of a sudden we're a good football team because we beat a bad Virginia Tech team. I'm just saying, as I always do in every video, and I get so much hate for this statement, I would rather win than lose. Even though we escaped with the victory, even though it wasn't pretty, and it definitely wasn't perfect, I will always take a win over a loss no matter how we get it. We'll nitpick the win. We'll talk about the negatives, which I have touched on some of the big ones in this video. But I will always take a win over a loss, because a 4th loss in a row, this fan base would have imploded. It would have been catastrophic. And it's already bad enough as it is. But a 4th loss, whoo, it would not have been a pretty sight on social media. So let's wrap this thing up, taking just a brief look over at ESPN.com. We'll take a look at the team stats and the box score so we can see some individual stats as well. Not really paying much attention to Virginia Tech because who cares? We beat them already. Let's take a look at what Miami did. Am I right? 22 first downs in this game, 8 of 17 third down efficiency. That was much better in the first half. But again, we all know what happened in the second half. I mean, we put up 17 in the first half and only 3 in the second half. Like, bro, what happened? Some adjustments were made and they were the wrong ones. 458 total yards of offense. 351 of that was passing. 107 was rushing. We already touched on this, bro. 17 penalties for 159 yards. Just absolutely ridiculous. I don't even know what happened there either. 0 turnovers, so ball security was good. 29 of 46 for Tyler Van Dyke this afternoon. 351 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. Jalen Knighton led the way in yards, 10 for 27. But again, nothing explosive here. Where is that back? And I'm not putting it all on the running back, right? We've got offensive line problems that's causing a ton of issues. And the play calling in the run game isn't doing us any favors. But, where's that, breaking off a run for, 40, 50? Like, look at the length of these. Longest run, 15. Thad, 18. Stanley, 11. And I'm not putting all the blame on their shoulders, guys. I'm not. I'm just saying that when we become one-dimensional like this, it makes it tough to win games. You got to be able to do a little bit of both. You know what I mean? You got to have them respect the passing game and the run game. So it's going to create a problem for us as we go through our schedule. Teams like Duke, not going to be a pushover. I can't believe I'm saying it, but probably not. We still got Clemson, Pitt. I mean, Georgia Tech's been a little bit on a roll. Like, I'm just saying, we're going to have to figure something out with that, in my opinion. Our man Colby Young, 9 receptions for 110 yards, 1 touchdown. He had the one-hander for the touchdown, 37-yard reception. Dude, bro, just went off. Rashard Smith, 6 for 76. Will Mallory, 3 for 62. Hopefully Mallory is okay. Took that big hit to the head in the game. Ladson, 5 for 58, continuing to make an impact. Ladson is also still stepping up. Skinner had a drop or two that was pretty crucial, but 2 for 30. Let's see what else we got here. Avante Williams picked up the fumble. That was forced by DJ Ivy, so that was nice to see. That was on Virginia Tech's very first possession, I believe. So they turn the ball over, we pick it up, we score. So that's big time. Leading in total tackles here is Mesidor, who had a really big game. Mesidor and LT went off this afternoon. Defensive line play continues to be strong for us, and it's a very big positive on this team. Secondary still needs some improvement, but D-line is definitely good for us. Corey Flagg continuing to play pretty well, all things considered, and we did have 6 sacks this afternoon. 6 sacks. I'm happy with that, man. Overall, we did what we needed to do. As we said, escaping with a victory. We've got to learn how to finish. I don't know if we thought it was in the bag and then we got distracted and we stopped giving our all. I don't really know what happened. Thankfully, Virginia Tech, again, as I said, is not that good of a football team, so they were not able to fight back and actually take control and win the game. We got to be careful. This needs to be a learning experience for us. We're trying to figure out how to win. We did that. We got in the win column, but we got to figure out how to finish, and not only finish, but finish strong. That's very important. So, man, what a wild game. Crazy afternoon. Tennessee taking down Alabama. Dang, bro. And hey, listen, I called it. Go back, man. I tweeted on October 8th, and I remember. I'm keeping track, man. I got receipts. I said Tennessee will beat Alabama in Neyland Stadium. Their offense is legit, bro. That was absolutely crazy. I think it was like 52-49. Alabama missed a field goal late, and Tennessee hit their field goal to win the game. The fans stormed Neyland Stadium. It was crazy. It's why this video is going up late, is because I was watching that game. I haven't checked in on FSU. They're playing Clemson at the moment. I know you guys are here for Miami. You're not worried about hearing about these other teams, but they're winning. Florida State is beating Clemson. Bro, okay, who knows what's going to happen by the time this video goes up. But what just a crazy season in college football, man. It's part of why I love this game. It's so unpredictable at times. It doesn't always have to make sense. You slice and dice it up, review the tape, look at the stats. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense, and it doesn't have to because it's college football, man. Let me see some interaction down in this video, guys. I appreciate all the love in the live stream and the love on the channel this week. We're going to continue to grow, trying to hit 20,000 subs in 2022. We're about 800 away. I think we can do it if all of you guys that watch this tell a friend and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.